These attempts to censor Adam have been orchestrated to distract, but no one is fooled. Extreme MAGA Republicans are targeting Adam because he's everything they wish they could be. He's tough, he's principled, and he's effective.
Ah, yes, the biggest liar in Washington, Adam Schiff. Adored and loved by the Democrat Party. That's Congressman Benny Thompson coming out to lie on behalf of the biggest liar in Washington. Yeah, Adam is effective. Effective at demolishing confidence in our public institutions. He lied every hour knowingly, every hour of every day on various cable television networks and network television outlets. Lied and lied and lied and lied. Oh, trust me, I've seen the classified documents that you can't see. I'm waving my hand in front of you now. You can't see the documents that I've seen, but if you could see them, you'd know what I know, that there was Russian collusion between President Trump and the Trump campaign and Putin's Russia. Collusion. I've seen the classified documents. That's what Adam Schiff said every hour of every day, month after month, year after year. And every time he did, he was knowingly telling untruths, which all of our mothers told us was lying. And my mother, at least, told me, I really shouldn't do that. And I took her at her word. I took her seriously because my mother was a fine woman and passed along excellent values, Western values, American values. Great stuff. The world is much better as a result, not just of me and my mother, but Western values. And still working on, making the world a better place myself. I think I do my part every day for the truth, and the truth matters. All right, so that was Benny Thompson. And Adam Schiff, he was actually censured by the House of Representatives yesterday. And it is, now I think it's 126 times that members of Congress have been censured by the Congress in the history of the United States of America, in the history of the Congress and the House of Representatives. And it is it's a good day. But if you're looking for any coverage of it in the news media, well, you're going to have to keep looking because they don't really report the news. The Washington Post doesn't report the news. They uncover the news. That was actually their slogan for a little while a couple of years ago. They said they don't cover the news, they uncover it. Then they realized, because they're not very smart, that was like the 7-Up ad. It's not the cola, it's the uncola. And when you say you uncover the news, it means you really don't cover the news. So they stopped using that slogan. Not very bright people over there. But the Adam Schiff thing, it is the Democrats are proud of the biggest liar in Washington. They love the biggest liar in Washington. And Now, the Post does have a little piece in black and white at the bottom of page 4. House passes measure to censure Schiff for pressing 2016 collusion claims. Well, it was a lie. We know it to be a lie because of the Mueller report, which said there was no collusion. And then, of course, the Durham report, which says that they all knew it all along. And that John Penitentiary Face Brennan, the most corrupt CIA director in the history of the United States of America, who voted for the Communist Party candidate for President of the United States, Gus Hall, and then was made CIA director by none other than Barack Obama, whose mentor as a teenager was Frank Marshall Davis, who was a member of the Communist Party of the United States of America, a leader, a big fan. And you see, I got to get to Colin Kaepernick, came out yesterday against capitalism. He's against capitalism because this is the left. They're not liberals, they're the left. How many times do I have to say it? They're not liberals, they're the left. And Frank Marshall Davis was Barack Obama's mentor. Barack Obama palled around with William Ayers and Bernardine Dohrn, who were communists, radical leftist terrorists who planned on overthrowing the United States government, and their friends murdered police officers and robbed the Brinks truck to get money to fund the revolution to overthrow the United States. And all of them were given tenure at major American universities. The cop killers had to serve their time in prison. Then the moment they got out, tenure. Well, at least jobs as professors at major American universities. So there are commies everywhere. They also hired Van Jones, who in the Obama White House, and then CNN hired him because he was self-described communist too. So House passes measure to censure Schiff for pressing 2016 collusion claims. Now, they don't say false, right? There's nothing in the headline about being false claims because he's a Democrat and they're Democrats. And Amy B. Wang and Mariana Alfaro typed up the story at the Washington Post, and they're Democrats as well. The House on Wednesday passed a measure to censure Representative Adam Schiff, Democrat, California, for pressing allegations that Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign colluded with Russia a week after a first attempt to censure Schiff was blocked by the Democrats and 20 really idiotic Republicans. But that's the one that included the $16 million fine or something like that. In any event, it passed last night, and that is good. And House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, the California Democrat, presided over the vote. And the Washington Post still hasn't said false claims. Have you noticed that? Disproven by the Mueller report, by the Durham special counsel investigation. The Washington Post still hasn't said that. And they're never going to say that because the big lie lives on, just as their boy Gurgle would have it. Yes, sir. So we got that going. Now, we've got audio on this, too. And and the Democrats love a liar. God knows they love a liar. And they love Adam Schiffless because he is Schiffless, and so are they. Let's go to some audio on all of this. And Adam Schiffless. Now, we also played some of the launching the show, starting off the show, right? I would like to play that again because this is just a little bit of a mashup of Adam Schiff going before his media allies and colleagues and lying again and again and again and claiming, oh, I'm on the Intelligence Committee and I have access to all the secret stuff and I can't reveal, but I'm going to share with you just that he is guilty because I've seen the secret stuff and I'm not a liar.
There is ample evidence of collusion. Well, I think there is direct evidence in the emails from the Russians through their intermediary offering dirt on Hillary Clinton as part of what is described in writing as the Russian government effort to help elect Donald Trump.
What do you got hard?
Well, Chris, unfortunately, I can't go into the evidence that's being presented to the committee.
Do you have something hard that you can't reveal?
I can't reveal that.
I can't reveal that. He's such a lion Sacagawea. He is Washington's number one lion Sacagawea. All right, let's go to soundbite numero uno, as the Democrats like to say. Here's Adam Schiffless. Oh, wait a minute. This isn't... Bop. All right, well, here's Adam Schiff yesterday during the Durham hearing, and then later on in the day, we had the Speaker of the House presiding over the censure of Adam Schiff and the Democrats celebrating, but still he gets at bats, even though everybody knows he's the biggest liar in Washington, and he's the inchworm. This is the nickname that everybody uses for Adam Schiff is the inchworm. If he were a cartoon character in a Disney film, he would be depicted as an inchworm. And, of course, his wife calls him the inchworm. So here's Adam Schiff yesterday during the Durham hearing.
Don Jr. was informed that a Russian official was offering the Trump campaign, quote, very high-level and sensitive information, unquote.
People get phone calls all the time from individuals who claim to have information like that.
Really, this son of a presidential candidate gets calls all the time from a foreign government offering dirt on their opponent? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think this is unique in your experience.
Ooh, wait a minute. Durham just stuck it to Schiffless there. Oh, really? Oh, they got a call from someone with a Russian name? Oh, that happens all the time? Schiff? Pounding their table? Oh, you're telling me that happens all the time? And Durham threw it back in his face. I think, it shouldn't be a big surprise in your experience because Adam Schiffless, you may remember, we covered it exhaustively at the time, received a phone call at his office from Russians who it turned out were pranksters who were peddling false information to Adam Schiff, including naked pictures of Walter Brennan. naked pictures of Donald Trump. And Schiff was touching himself. He couldn't have been more aroused by this. He was very excited at the prospect of getting from Russians, he believed, naked pictures of Donald Trump because, Russian prostitutes and urine and all the things that Democrats love. Honestly, we got Hunter Biden all over this, don't we? The Russian prostitutes and at least I didn't bruise you. You should be grateful. Here's your money. Adam Schiff in 2018 on the phone with people he believes to be Russians who are going to provide him dirt on Donald Trump.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Mr. Schiff. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you.
Chairman.
I know that you work for investigation regarding Trump and Russian government.
Yes.
We know some important information about that.
And that is documented as well in materials you want to provide to us?
Yes.
Yes. Could I explain you where we are?
Yes, of course. But, again, I would just caution that our Russian friends may be listening to the conversation, so I wouldn't share anything over the phone that you don't want them to hear.
Oh, our Russian friends. Well, that tells me everything I need to know. And he's talking to a Russian who's going to be providing him with dirt on Trump but no one would ever do that except him, see? And that's, please, and our Russian friends may be listening. Oh, and you have your compromat? What is the nature of compromat? Adam Schiff kept going because he wanted naked pictures of Donald Trump because he is a kinky mamma jamma.
Okay, and Sabusova met with Trump in New York at some point after the 2013 Miss Universe
yes.
pageant.
Absolutely, and she got compromising materials on Trump after their short relations.
Short relations.
Okay, and what's the nature of the compromise?
Well, there were pictures of naked Trump.
Compromat, pictures of naked Trump. You have compromat? Of course, Eric Swalwell, who found himself on the House Intelligence Committee after years of help by the Chinese intelligence agencies, and Fang Fang, the honeypot that the Chinese communists sent over to have sex with Eric Swalwell, and he obliged. And then they brought him from a city council seat in California to the House of Representatives and the Intelligence Committee, and that's a non-story. Isn't that amazing? And Dianne Feinstein had a Chinese agent on her staff in her San Francisco office who also served as her driver. You think the car was bugged for 20 years? Gee, it's impossible to say, except that it's not impossible to say. All right, let's go to yesterday. So there he is. Oh, sure, like people just take calls from Russians? And John Durham says, yeah, well, given I'm talking to you, maybe. But here is Congresswoman Ana Paulina Luna. I always want to sing Una Paloma Blanca every time I hear her name. But Ana Paulina Luna on Adam Schiff when we were getting into the censure of Adam Schiff yesterday.
Mr. Schiff exploited his position as chair of Intel Committee and every opportunity possible, threatening national security, undermining our duly elected president, and bringing dishonor upon the institution. This is not a partisan act. This is not a conservative versus liberal vote. This is a clear vote between right and wrong, and I urge you to do the right thing.
The Democrats did the wrong thing because they are the wrong thing. Kevin McCarthy presided over the vote where it was decided in the House of Representatives that Adam Schiff would be censured.
On this vote, the yeas are 213 and the nays are 209. With 6 answering present, the resolution adopted. Without objection, the motion to consider is laid on the table. House will be in order.
The Democrats are chanting shame. Now, it is the shame of Adam Schiff and the shame of the Democrat Party, who are not on our side. They are not liberals. They are the left. And then the Democrats gathered around him and cheered him, a whole mob of Democrats. They cheered him. They loved the lie. In order to love the lie, you have to love the liar. And they loved the liar and the lie and they cheered. And again, it was like a wedding or something. And he was the hero of the story. He was censured by the House for being the biggest liar in Washington, which might, certainly put you in contention for the biggest liar on the planet Earth. No doubt about it. You know that you can purify the air in your home and get healthy, clean, fresh-smelling air, eliminate odors, kill mold, mildew, bacteria, and viruses? The Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier uses Oxy technology. Oxy technology naturally sends out O3 molecules into the air, and the O3 molecules seek out and destroy pollutants and bad odors in your home. Doesn't mask or cover up bad odors like a spray can. It eliminates them. It's called the Thunderstorm because it purifies the air in your home and provides you with pure, fresh air, just like after a thunderstorm. Right now, you can save $200 American on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. I only have 2. But I got a small place. You'll get 3 units for under $200. That's a fraction of the cost compared with other air purifiers that can go for more than $600 each. You can put one in your basement, your bedroom, any place, your teenager's room, any place you like to have clean, fresh air. You do like that, don't you? With this special offer, you're getting 3 units for under $200. They're small, too. You can hold them right in your hand. You plug them right into the wall. Go to EdenPureDeals.com. Put in the discount code Chris and save $200. That's EdenPureDeals.com. The discount code is Chris, and shipping is free. Yeah, the censure of Adam Schiff at long last. Good for the Republicans. Good for Kevin McCarthy. It happened, and shame on the Democrats. They are a disgrace to Western civilization. Hey, Chris here with some exciting news. Now you can listen to me live on the WMAL app. Doesn't matter if you're in your car, in the office, on the go. The WMAL app delivers crystal clear around-the-clock news coverage anywhere with cell service or Wi-Fi. So don't miss a second of your favorite shows. Download the WMAL app today on the Apple App Store or at Google Play Store. Today is Senator Dianne Feinstein's 90th birthday. Michael Piercy recommends that she not eat the cake. Do not taste the cake. The Democrats want your job. She did have a Chinese secret agent on her staff in San Francisco for 20 years, and the FBI let her know very quietly it was no big deal. Shh. And, of course, Eric Swalwell had may still have an ongoing sexual affair with Fang Fang, the Chinese secret agent lady, the honeypot, right? It's pretty amazing stuff. All right, I'm going to get to calls coming up. We are at 888-630-9625, 888-630-9625, and we've got much more for you on the Durham hearing yesterday, where there was a lot of good stuff, and honestly, the whole Democrat Party is basically one big pack of liars at this point. The truth is not their thing. That's generous understatement. They chant for the liar. They celebrate the liar and the lie. And he wears it as a badge of honor, the fact that he's the biggest liar in Washington and he's been censured for it. There's kind of a funny Budweiser story today, Bud Light story today. A gay bar. It's a gay bar. Are there straight bars? A gay bar in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which used to be like, Mary Tyler Moore and happy, nice people city. That's what Minneapolis was famous for. But a gay bar in Minneapolis now has dropped Anheuser-Busch products. What? A gay bar has dropped Anheuser-Busch products? But they had Dylan Mulvaney, who's a man masquerading as a lady. And that's supposed to be like normal stuff now, and normal gay stuff, too. Is yes, the idea is every gay man is really trapped in a woman trapped in a man's body or something like that. Minneapolis gay bar dumps Anheuser-Busch, blasting the company over integrity amid Dylan Mulvaney debacle. Where's that lady that came up with this wonderful idea, the vice president at Anheuser-Busch in charge of Bud Light, that said, hey, I've got an idea. Let's make Dylan Mulvaney the symbol of Bud Light and see if we can lose $27 billion at the same time. I believe that Bernard Madoff, New York City swindler, the biggest scammer in the history of Wall Street, they ended up with $13 billion unaccounted for. Now this woman at Anheuser-Busch made $27 billion disappear. But boy, oh boy, I'm so protective of doing business with people who have integrity, the Minneapolis bar owner said. Minneapolis Gay Bar is reportedly dumping Bud Light beer, Anheuser-Busch beverages, citing a lack of integrity from the company, according to a local newspaper. Minneapolis Gay Bar, The Saloon, is replacing Anheuser-Busch with local breweries because of the way the beer giant handled the backlash over influencer Dylan Mulvaney, the Star Tribune reported. Pretty amazing. Anheuser-Busch has had an opportunity to support a marginalized community. In what way exactly? In a way that few other corporations have attempted, but they abandoned that direction. We view that as unacceptable, saloon owner John Moore said. I'm so protective of doing business with people who have integrity. Sure. And don't get into anti-queer agenda. Don't get into an anti-queer agenda, right? Will Gay Pride Month ever end? I'm just curious because, every day there are 500 stories. And I don't know, I grew up in a country where really gay people were not discriminated against. That, anybody, you got anything with the Stonewall, what was that, 1968 or 1969 or something? That was over a half century ago, right? That's your Democrat Party. So there it is. All right, well, they're not going to carry Anheuser-Busch. And let me just say this. Good for them at the gay bar. and there you go, Anheuser-Busch. Another one in your column. Pretty amazing stuff. Yes, sir. A little news media story out of Media Research Center and Newsbusters, their excellent website. Networks, the TV network, spent 491 minutes on Trump indictment, 0 minutes and 0 seconds on Biden Burisma bribery story. The Washington Post also, they had a passing mention buried in another story today, but they didn't get to the $5 million from Burisma and all that. Washington Post doesn't cover the news. They uncover it. They cover it up. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Bud Light getting it from both sides. There. They can't, never mind. It's like Chinese handcuffs, those finger cuffs, like that. It's like that. On Tuesday, ABC, CBS, and NBC excitedly jumped on the news that Hunter Biden's plea deal was made public, perhaps presuming the whole horrible ordeal for President Joe Biden and his family would now be whisked away. Certainly has been. However, there were still outstanding questions, particularly how Hunter used the family name in business deals and was bribery involved. That's right there, Article 2, Section 4 of the Constitution under impeachment. Jeffrey Dickens has the story at Newsbusters. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer quickly issued a statement reminding everyone the investigations weren't over. And Comer said, let's be clear. The Department of Justice's charges against President Biden's son, Hunter, revealed a two-tiered system of justice. Hunter Biden is getting away with a slap on the wrist when growing evidence uncovered by the House Oversight Committee reveals the Bidens engaged in a pattern of corruption, influence peddling, and possibly bribery. There's also a two-tiered system of network news coverage. Back on June 8th, 2 massive political stories broke, but only one of them got covered by the broadcast networks. On June 8th, former President Donald Trump was indicted by the special counsel classified document case. Joe Biden has classified documents all over the place, various locations. Pay no attention. The very same day, it was reported that President Biden had allegedly received $5 million from an executive of the Ukrainian gas company Burisma, the same company in which his son Hunter was involved with a no-show job, getting about $1 million a year, along with his pal Devin Archer, who then went on to rob a Native American tribe of tens of millions of dollars. But it's okay, because when you're a Democrat, the news media, they want to have sex with you, not cover you. It's an amazing thing. So over the 12 days from June 8th till June 21st, the Media Research Center and Newsbusters found the three networks, ABC, CBS, and NBC, broadcast networks, they crammed their evening, morning, and Sunday roundtable shows with a total of 491 minutes of coverage dedicated to the Trump indictment. But how much coverage of the Biden-Burisma alleged bribery scheme, $5 million to Joe Biden, $5 million to Hunter Biden, plus Hunter Biden's nearly $1 million a year salary from Burisma, plus Joe Biden ordered the government of Ukraine, when he was vice president, to fire the prosecutor that was investigating corruption at Burisma, and they fired him, and Joe Biden bragged about it on camera. Well, the networks dedicated 0 minutes and 0 seconds to that story. It is good to be a Democrat. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I am telling you. Just amazing stuff. All right, let's get back to some audio here, if we could, because this was a big hearing yesterday, scheduled for 3 hours, went on for 6 hours, and the Democrats did everything they could to obstruct justice, and should probably be arrested and charged, don't you think? At least censured, expelled from Congress. That would be the Democrat Party rhetoric if we just turned the tables a little bit. And are they commies? Sure, they're commies. Colin Kaepernick says black liberation isn't possible under capitalism. Colin Kaepernick, who's a millionaire for being a failure and is a terrible, terrible, horrible American and a terrible person. In fact, he's one of America's leading, what is the correct terminology? Rectal apertures. He is massive and leading rectal aperture, I've got to say. Former NFL star, that's generous. Colin Kaepernick says that he doesn't believe that capitalism would allow for an end to white supremacy. That's because white supremacy is everywhere. Ask Barack Obama. That was half white supremacy, I guess, is the thing there. Kaepernick made the statement in an interview with the New Republic, a radical left-wing extremist magazine that gives you half-truths all the time, promoting his new book, Our History Has Always Been Contraband. That's the name of his book. In defense of black studies. It's co-edited by Kaepernick and Robin D.G. Kelly. It's a crazy thing. But he goes on and he says that, white supremacy rules the world, and that black liberation, which is a radical left-wing extremist black liberation theology, is a radical left-wing ideology. And he says that capitalism itself, he said from, the back seat of his Bentley while being chauffeured around on the way to his helicopter so he can fly in somebody else's private jet. And he's a multimillionaire. And he says that capitalism itself, you see, because of white people. And that's and when you're him, that's okay, because that makes a lot of sense. Capitalism is and white supremacy. I gotta, here's the rule about people like him. They're not happy unless they're not happy. And he, I expect, is going to be happy until his last dying day, because the left sunk their teeth into him long ago. And he says this absolutely crazy stuff about ableism. He's got ableism in there because the guy's nuts. I think the anthology makes this argument quite well. And I hope it challenges readers to see that racism is not white supremacy only. their only ingredient, white supremacy, persists in part because of its relationship with capitalism, heteropatriarchy, ableism, and so on. I think so on is the best part. Ableism, that is people who are not handicapped, and heteropatriarchy. He's trying out some new words, some big words, some polysyllabic words. It's not working out very well for him. But this is what the Democrat Party does to people. Racial division, class division. And again, this is the Marxist construct. Race, class, and gender. All right? And he's got the heteropatriarchy because they're all gender dysphoric now, all the Democrats. And they're all racist and race victims. Most exalted status they can have is that of victim. And so they must find a way to become victims. And Colin Kaepernick, the heteropatriarchy, ableism, white supremacy, capitalism. Wow. He's as bright as, at least as bright as Greta Thunberg, I think, Greta von Thunberg. It was a great story. Yesterday was the 5th anniversary of Greta von Thunberg saying that we had only 5 years to stop using fossil fuels or humanity would be wiped out. Wiped out is the word that she used, right? The turn of phrase that she used, rather. Yeah, Greta. And this is what they do to people.
There is no planet blah, 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 blah.
They clap. The Democrats clap at that because, because, I don't know, there's a lot of brain dead stuff going on there. 5 years to the day yesterday since her 2008 tweet. Just amazing. And almost nobody covered, of course, because the news media doesn't really cover the news. The Washington Free Beacon covered the story, though. It's been 5 years since Greta Thunberg warned climate change would, quote, wipe out all of humanity unless we stop using fossil fuels over the next 5 years. Well, 5 years have passed. And again, the apocalyptic Jonestown-like doomsday cult that is the left. Just amazing.
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet, I'm one of the lucky ones.
That's for sure. Yeah, get back on your yacht and sail back across the. All right, let's go to soundbite number 7. Soundbite number 7. Here is Jim Jordan yesterday with Special Counsel John Durham, ticking off kind of the central facts that all the news media should be shouting from the housetops, but they're not.
Mr. Durham, in the summer of 2016, did our government receive intelligence that suggested Secretary Clinton had approved a plan to tie President Trump to Russia?
Yes.
Was that intelligence important enough for Director Brennan to go brief the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, the Attorney General of the United States, and the Director of the FBI?
Yes.
And was that intelligence put then into a memorandum, a referral memorandum?
Yes.
And was that memorandum then given to Director Comey and Agent Strzok?
That's who it was addressed to, yes.
So in 2018, they all knew that everything was just Hillary disinformation, Hillary fake opposition research. The CIA director who voted for the Communist Party candidate for president briefed the President of the United States, Barack Obama, who was mentored by a member of the Communist Party. And Joe Biden was in the room, and the FBI director, J. Edgar Comey, was in the room, and the Attorney General was in the room, and they were all told that this was all Hillary Clinton's opposition research, and that was in 2018. What did he say? It was 2000, not two, it can't be, when was it? 2016, I apologize, 2016. And so in 2016, they all knew that it was all just Hillary Clinton's opposition research. And the big lie, a lie told once remains a lie told 1,000 times becomes the truth, said the propagandist for the Socialist Workers' Party of Adolf Hitler. We live in very disturbing times, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. And Strzok and Comey and Lisa Page, they all knew all along. And that's not in the newspapers today, and the news media is not covering it.
Did I hear you correctly say that perhaps he was influenced by Gurgle?
Let's go to the telephones. Haven't gone to the telephones in a little bit. So many crazy stories the Democrats have given me today. Let's go to Lee, calling from the great state of Kentucky. Lee, you're on the Chris Plante Show.
Oh, thank you for taking the call. A few things I'd like to make a comment on is, first of all, it's not Target, it's Target, unless you want to drive over there in your Chevrolet. It was Voltaire, the French philosopher, who said, I may not agree with what you have to say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. And thirdly, whoever said no man is an island evidently never saw Michael Moore floating in Lake Michigan leaving an oil slick.
Well, got several of those. Got several of those things going there. And certainly Michael Moore floating in Lake Michigan should not be allowed. I love Lake Michigan, and he would produce an oil slick. He's famously oleaginous and odoriferous. He is, and I've met him, and I can attest to this, as a matter of fact. I met him in the Pentagon one time, of all places, Michael Moore, and he was quite odoriferous. He is known for that characteristic, as a matter of fact, and it's true, Lee, that we in Western civilization have long believed that a person's right to free speech was sacred, and we used to say in the United States, I may disagree with what you have to say, but I will fight to the death for your right to say it. It's a very important Western ethic that has really gone by the boards, gone by the wayside because of the left. And they don't believe in free speech, do they? No, they don't. And fighting to the death for your right to say something with which I disagree is a great American value. And the Democrat Party, well, they don't really stand up for First Amendment rights, for free speech, for freedom to practice your religion. They're against those. They're in favor of their own free speech rights, and they don't typically practice any religion at all. And your Second Amendment rights, those are right out. They want nothing to do with that. And, Voltaire was a wise man with many great sayings.